Hi everyone, welcome to today's Current Affairs Daily Notes. Today's topic is currency manipulation. I'm Ritrisha from GK Today and let us begin. Recently, the US has accused China of artificially depreciating the value of renminbi and manipulating currency values. Many of you who are aspiring bankers or trying to break into the financial sector, this lesson is especially important to you. So today we are going to discuss the following. What is currency manipulation? What is exchange rate? How can a country become a manipulator? What is the USA accusing China of? What will be the consequences and possible questions? So what is currency manipulation? Currency manipulation or who perform it, the countries are known as currency manipulators. Now, currency manipulator is a term used by the governmental authorities such as the United States Department of Treasury to designate countries that engage in a certain degree of currency intervention, a monetary policy in which a central bank buys or sells foreign currency in exchange for domestic currency, generally with the intention of influencing the exchange rate and commercial policy. Now, every central bank has to ensure that the economy of the country doesn't fall below mark and their markets thrive. To that effect, it intervenes quite frequently. Foreign exchange is an important tool for this. What is exchange rate? In finance, an exchange rate is the rate at which one currency will be exchanged for another. It is also regarded as the value of one's currency in relation to another currency. For example, if we are to buy an Indian car that costs 4 lakhs, we simply pay 4 lakh INR for it. But if we were to buy a US manufactured car that costs 15,000, we have to convert that amount to INR and then make payment. This is because when we buy product from a different country, we do not directly make payments. We use rupees to buy the equivalent amount of dollars and then pay the manufacturer the amount in dollars. Ideally, exchange rate should be directly proportional to the demand. If US made goods are in high demand in India, dollar will be stronger than rupee. What makes a country a currency manipulator? As we discussed, ideally, exchange rate should be directly proportional to the demand. However, most governments care more about manufacturing products and generating employment more than their value to dollar. Now, if a country is stronger, the country with weaker currency would hardly import their goods as they wouldn't be able to afford them. Similarly, a weaker currency will give it a boost. Now, a country can choose to buy foreign reserves in order to artificially weaken their currency so that exports go up. Now, this is considered manipulation. An example would be if the RBI were to buy US dollars, not to use it, not because they need it, but because they want to drive down the value of rupee against dollar so that Americans can buy more India made goods. Additionally, consider this. An American smartphone might be in demand in India because it is of good quality. However, China creates a product of similar phone but it's a lot cheaper. Naturally, Indians will prefer the Chinese phone over its American counterpart. Now, if China were to achieve this low price due to advanced or cleverer technology, it's just competition. However, if the reason is that China has manipulated its foreign reserves to deflate the value of their currency and thus the prices dropped, that is considered unethical. What is the US accusing China of? What we discussed right now, that is exactly what the US is accusing China of. They are saying that Chinese officials usually make more amends and intervene more when the Chinese currency is going up or stronger against the US dollars. However, when it's dropping, that it's going weaker, they usually turn a blind eye. And in the FX report released in May by the US Treasury Department, it has stated that the depreciation of renminbi against dollars was far larger than its depreciation against the trade weighted baskets of 24 currencies. So, what are the consequences to this? Mainly, the expectation is China will negotiate. On what will they negotiate? They'll negotiate on how to make its currency more fairly valued with the United States and the International Monetary Fund, which governs the few international guidelines that have been established on currency. Now, since the IMF just determined that currency of China was fairly valued, it doesn't seem like those negotiations will go any further. But the designation is like to rankle Chinese officials who have been very resistant to being labeled a currency manipulator. And if China's recent depreciation is the start of a trend, it could have a much bigger implication for the world economy. A cheaper renminbi would harm American exporters and erode the effectiveness of its tariffs. It would also hurt exporters in Europe, Japan, and elsewhere. And it could create market pressures for South Korea, Taiwan, and others that compete in similar industries to devalue their currency, potentially disrupting trade and investment flows. Furthermore, the American government could also use the label to justify further actions on China, including perhaps higher tariffs. Now, let us move on to possible questions that may be asked. Consider this: India needs Japanese products for growth and, say, technological advancement, and hence it buys a huge amount of yen reserves. Now, yen is the currency of Japan, thus depreciating rupee against yen. Is this currency manipulation? So, as you can understand from the given situation, India isn't buying it for the sake of it, it actually needs it. So, of course, it's not currency manipulation. Therefore, option B is correct. Which of the following will act as a market equalizer for goods imported from countries with lower valued currency than ours? So, if we are importing goods, say from Bangladesh, which has a lower valued currency, in that case, what we can do is impose taxes so that the same products which are manufactured in India, the prices for both the products are leveled. So correct answer here is option A, higher tariffs. Now that's all for this video. If you want to learn more about currency manipulations, simply follow our link in the description below. And if you liked our efforts, please do like, share and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.